wild, wonderful West Virginia, one of my favorite states. Senator, good to have you back.
Brian, good to be with you.
Good to chat with you. All right, so we got to start with energy, okay? We got Inflation Reduction Act, hundreds of billions, private capital. A lot of people here, by the way, are the ones putting in that private capital. But you will argue that some of the rules that we're trying to do or doing on the back end are actually counterproductive to our energy goals.
The intention of the IRA was supposed to be energy security. That was it. We did it because of the Ukraine war. We didn't have the energy to help our allies in Europe when Russian energy was cut off. We wanted to make sure we could help. And doing that builds an all-in energy. We're producing more energy today off of the IRA and $100 billion of also the bipartisan infrastructure bill than me and my committee did. So with that, it's produced what we wanted to produce. 38 trillion cubic feet of gas last year, 4.7 billion barrels of oil, 14 billion cubic feet a day of LNG, and more solar and more battery than ever before, all in energy policy. And just follow it. Basically, they're trying to accelerate what the administration wants to accelerate, more EV cars. The only reason we did any type of credits for EVs, Brian, was because we wanted that manufacturing base back. We didn't want to be relied on China, Russia, North Korea, or Iran. And they, China over the years has really captivated the markets. And they have most of the products it takes to build a battery. And I said, fine. But I don't think that basically when we invented and Henry Ford did the mass production of the car, I don't remember the federal government sending checks to people, enticing people to buy. The market basically engulfed it. Okay, the product usually takes care. They're trying to accelerate that while they're putting the Q80s on hydrogen, which is going to be the cleaner fuel of the future.
So in some way, Senator, are we encouraging, because the president, listen, I was in Detroit. I spent the whole day with the UAW.
Yeah.
He was in town. He made a brief visit, but he made a visit. He needs their vote. He wants their vote. But are we encouraging Chinese dominance still in this market in any of our policies that we're enacting?
Anything coming from China or the four countries I mentioned, China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea, should absolutely be prohibited as of coming to 2025. This was the last time, and only 50% should be now. They've extended it for another 2 years and beyond because they know that we're not getting the permits we need to extract the minerals here in America or from our critical suppliers. We need basically supply chains that we can count on. They're free trade agreement countries. People are allies, not our adversaries.
Listen, we're going to need 25 to 50% more electricity generation to meet our AI and data center goals at the minimum in probably 7 to 10 years. We're building out solar, we're building out wind, we're building out battery storage. That's great. But these new EPA rules that are at least in place or being discussed would require 90% of the nasty emissions from coal to be captured. I'm sure the coal industry will say, we can't do that, or to be prohibitively expensive. Are you worried that we're going to lose power generation at a time that we need more power generation?
Well, not only am I worried about it, the FERC, Federal Energy Regulatory Committee, and NERC, the people who basically evaluate our grid, are telling us we're in a danger zone right now. And we're throwing more demand into basically and taking off more dispatchable 24/7 power. So there's a transition coming. But you can't take something off that you're depending on 24/7 unless you have something better to replace it with.
Yes.
That's all. They're not there yet. But
are we more aggressively taking stuff off than we are putting stuff on?
That's exactly what the regulators have told me. They said, slow it down, Joe. Make sure that we're not eliminating or early retiring products. Coal can do its job if you get a carbon capture sequestration. Hydrogen or blue or natural gas can do its job. But when you can't get a Class 6 well permit, Brian, you're telling me on one hand, do it, encourage me to do it, and then not let me do it.
But nuclear, I feel like we're coming back a little bit, and we'll get to stuff besides energy in a second, but could we see 3 Mile Island come back online?
Not 3 Mile Island. You can see any.
I know it's not your state, but you think it could happen?
Sure, it sure could happen, but here's the thing. The new technologies with small modular reactors, micro reactors, when you think about for 50 years or more, we have run our entire defense system, our entire fleet, as far as our ships and submarines, on nuclear. And basically for retiring coal plants in my state of West Virginia, it's a perfect fit for a small modular reactor. And it's safe. And we're trying to basically accelerate that. And I think we're going to be wonderful in the transition. This administration, I try to work with them, my friends, I know them all, but basically follow the bill. The IRA was very explicit. they're putting out implementation of a bill they never passed. And I said, you didn't pass the bill you wanted, which is in the BBB. We passed a more rational, all above energy.
Trump says he wants to kill it. I hate to bring, politics into it,
will.
like, because the red states benefit so much from it, right?
When President Trump, if someone can sit down and explain to him, if he gets back into office, former President Trump, then we have to sit down and explain to him exactly what it's doing. And I think once he sees it, and the people that he would call his friends are seeing that they're benefiting from it, and we are transitioning, but we have to do it in a methodical way. I don't think he'll overshoot the skis or over-accelerate.
A lot of the stuff, not just for natural gas, but for wind and stuff, is Wisconsin,
transmission.
Is Michigan, is Pennsylvania.
We need transmission. We understand it.
Yeah.
We all need transmission, whether it's renewables or whether it's basically putting dispatchable online. We need more transmission capacity.
What is it, 70, whatever the number is. I hate, if you do specific numbers, people get, jumpy. It's 69, not 70%. A majority of Americans surveyed say they don't want this matchup, right? Former guy, current guy. Your whole panel here today is sort of about political civility and going forward. How did we get here?
Well, you have a duopoly. You have a business model, the Democrat business model and the Republican business model.
They're billion-dollar corporations.
That's all they are.
Chevron, Verizon, AT&T.
So that's how you got to where you got to. They will not open the system up. If the system was opened up to where we had open primaries or ranked choice primary voting, such as Lisa Murkowski, my friend in Alaska, she would never have won without it, and open primaries that get more people into the mix, basically the gerrymandering that goes on. Let's get the product. The product is the person you send to Washington. But when that person gets to Washington, they got nowhere to go. 60% of us are in the middle, Brian. 60% are center left, center right. We want the grand old party to be grand again. We want the Democratic Party to be responsible again.
Are you sure you're out? I'm going
to be helping. I've tried for 14 years as a senator. I've been involved in public service for 40. I think I can help more from the outside, explain to people around the country, recruiting good candidates. I don't care whether they're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, or whatever. It makes no difference. Give me a good person that puts country before their own self or their party. We're going to win.
You think we'll get debates?
You have to. People should demand debates. Not to have a debate's ridiculous. You've got to be able to see. Here's the thing. You've got 11 states that are closed states, primary. 30 million people are registered independents in those 11 states. They're not going to get to vote. They can't vote because they're closed. You have to be a Democrat, Republican. And then you're going to have basically in a Democrat, Republican primary nationwide, 10 million people on each side will determine who you're representing. So you got the two. Those two are telling 155 or 160 million of us who we're going to vote for. The system is not giving us options. Government doesn't work.
It sounds like, we'll leave it there, Senator.
It sounds
like to me a threat. It sounds like a threat to democracy, but I don't know. Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you for joining us here.
Always
Folks,
good.
much more from the Milken Global Conference.